All right, the main new topic I want to discuss today is the one that you went through in your Zybook, and that is on user authentication in PHP. Obviously, a big issue for any commercial website where they need to have somebody log in before they can, do whatever they need to do, look at their bank account information, etc. But before we look at that section, I want to jump back to the end of section 1012 that you did, a couple weeks ago. Okay, and we didn't discuss this yet. You went through it, but this is where it becomes relevant. So I think it's a better time to bring it up. And it's this concept called postback. And all that means is that you actually have a form, so an HTML form, that actually sets its action, which the action is where should the form data be sent. It sets its action to actually send the information back to the same file that the form is in. So it seems a little bit weird, almost seems like a version of recursion here. But again, look at this. Okay, this is a file called guess.php. So in this file is called guess.php, and notice that the form is actually sending the form data back to the same file. So it's like the first time this page gets viewed, it shows this form. Somebody enters in their information in the form and clicks submit, and then all that form data goes back to this file. So you can imagine it kind of coming into the top of this file, and notice what's going on here. It's getting the information that was sent. So it's using the post variable here to get the number that was sent in the form, which you can see is right down here, right? You've got this input that has the name of num. So after you send this through, you can actually get this posted number that was sent from the form. Okay, so that's the general concept of postback. One quick little thing to point out here. So you look at this part and you wonder, well, what exactly is that doing? Well, you have to think that if we're going to have the form processing and the form in the same page, we need to make sure that the first time this page is loaded, like when somebody just goes here initially, all we want to see is the form. We don't want to do any form processing because the form hasn't been submitted yet. That's what this line is doing. This is checking to see if the person that's the request that's being made to this file is a post request or a get request. And in this particular case, or in all cases, if you just go visit a website by typing in the URL at the top of the browser, you're using a get request. You're going through the URL. So the very first time you go to guess.php, if you just type in, I want to go to www.mywebsite.com/guess.php, you're going through a get request. And so this little check right here is going to say, is this coming in as a post request? And it's going to say, no, it's not. They're visiting the page for the first time. This is just a get request. It's going to ignore all of this stuff and just jump all the way down to the bottom here. And it's going to show the form. Then when you actually type the information into the form, and notice that the form's method is now post, and you click enter, now it sends that information back to this file, and when it comes down through and it looks at this line right here, it's going to say, now the information is coming in via a post request, or this page has been requested via a post request. That means somebody is posting some form data from the form down below. So now it says, oh yes, this is a post method, and now it will do all this information here, or run all this code here that actually processes the data that was submitted. So a little bit of a weird concept, and it might take a couple times of thinking about this, but this is the general idea of postback, and now we're going to look at that again in the context of the user authentication that you went through for today.